The period that you went through, what do you refer to that as? Is it...
I was calling it a meltdown, but then I sort of changed my perspective, and I'm calling it a melt forward.
Melt forward.
Yes. Yeah.
So you melted,
right.
and then
I harnessed it.
You harnessed it, and the liquid poured forward?
Like a mercury volcano.
Hollywood presents itself as a place of opportunity, but the reality is often far less welcoming. Today we're taking a closer look at 6 celebrities who were secretly blacklisted in Hollywood. Mira Sorvino. Mira Sorvino was once a sought-after actress, earning critical acclaim and an Academy Award for her performance in Mighty Aphrodite. Her talent and versatility positioned her for a long, successful career in Hollywood. But behind the scenes, powerful figures worked to limit her opportunities. Sorvino has openly stated she believes she was blacklisted after rejecting advances from disgraced producer Harvey Weinstein. In a 2017 interview, she explained, quote, "There may have been other factors, but I know that when I said no to Weinstein, my career took a downturn." Filmmaker Peter Jackson later confirmed that he was advised against casting her in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, saying, quote, "I recall Miramax telling us she was a nightmare to work with. In hindsight, I realized this was likely a smear campaign." Jackson's admission backed up Sorvino's claims, revealing how Weinstein used his influence to damage her career. After Weinstein's misconduct became public, Sorvino was vocal about the impact on her life. She described feeling heartbroken when she learned she had been deliberately excluded from major projects. Although she never entirely left the industry, her career did not follow the trajectory expected of an Oscar-winning actress. In recent years, she's regained some visibility with TV roles, but the years lost to Hollywood's quiet retaliation remain undeniable. Mel Gibson.
It started with one tape.
You look like a...
Then another.
Give me a bat in the side of the head. How about that?
A third.
You're a using whore.
And now a fourth. Nearly 20 minutes of hate-filled rants. Mel Gibson allegedly threatening his ex-girlfriend Oksana Grigorieva during phone calls she apparently recorded and Radar Online released. The latest, a demand for sex coupled with another threat.
I deserve to be first until I burn the house down. But me first.
Grigorieva wants custody of the couple's 8-month-old daughter.
Mel Gibson was one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. With films like Braveheart, Lethal Weapon, and Passion of the Christ, he established himself as both a box office draw and a respected filmmaker. But his reputation took a major hit in 2006 when he was arrested for driving under the influence and made anti-Semitic remarks to the officer on the scene. The fallout was immediate, with industry figures distancing themselves from him. The backlash only grew when recordings surfaced in 2010 of Gibson making racist and misogynistic comments during a phone call with his ex-girlfriend, Oksana Grigorieva. Hollywood quickly turned its back on him, his talent agency dropped him, and projects he'd been developing fell apart. Robert Downey Jr., a longtime friend, publicly urged the industry to give him a second chance, saying, quote, "I think forgiveness is an important part of what makes us human." Gibson spent years on the fringes of the industry, directing smaller projects and working outside the studio system. His 2016 war film, Hacksaw Ridge, marked a partial return, earning him an Academy Award nomination for Best Director. Despite this, he remains a controversial figure. While some argue his talent should outweigh his behavior, others believe his actions permanently damaged his place in the industry. Susan Sarandon.
We know who our enemy is. Our enemy is hate. Our enemy is racism. Our enemy is colonization. Our enemy is greed. And our enemy is silence.
Susan Sarandon built a career as both an acclaimed actress and an outspoken activist. Known for films like Thelma and Louise and Dead Man Walking, she earned a reputation for taking on complex roles and using her platform to address political and social issues. But in 2023, she found herself facing industry backlash after making controversial remarks at a pro-Palestine rally. During the event, she criticized the response to the Israel-Palestine conflict, which led to an intense public reaction. Not long after, her talent agency, UTA, dropped her. She later acknowledged her comments had consequences, saying, quote, "I deeply regret the way my words were taken, but I stand by my belief that we should be able to speak out on humanitarian issues." The fallout extended beyond her agency dropping her. Multiple projects Sarandon had been attached to were reportedly canceled or delayed. She had experienced controversy before. She famously clashed with the Academy over her activism in the 90s. But this time, the industry's response seemed more severe. Although Sarandon remains a respected actress, her exclusion from major Hollywood productions suggests she's been quietly pushed aside for her political views. Whether she'll be welcomed back into the mainstream remains uncertain, but history shows she's never been one to stay silent for the sake of her career. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, known for his roles in the Mummy franchise, George of the Jungle, and Encino Man. With his mix of charm, physical comedy, and action hero presence, he seemed destined for a long career. However, in the mid-2000s, he all but disappeared from the spotlight. For years, fans speculated about what had happened, but Fraser later revealed his absence wasn't entirely by choice. In a 2018 interview, he alleged he'd been sexually assaulted in 2003 by Philip Burke, the former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. He claimed that after the incident, he was rarely invited to industry events and his career took a noticeable downturn. Quote, "I don't know if this curried disfavor within the group, but the silence was deafening," Fraser said. He also faced a series of personal and physical struggles, including multiple surgeries due to years of performing his own stunts. The combination of these factors led to near-total disappearance from major Hollywood projects. For more than a decade, he was largely absent from big-budget films. But in 2022, he made a stunning comeback with his role in The Whale, a performance that earned him widespread acclaim and an Academy Award for Best Actor. Katherine Heigl.
Katherine wrote, "Some of you may remember, over 10 years ago, I was very vocal about the absurdity of the working hours crews and actors were being forced into by production. Even Diane Sawyer interviewed me and not so kindly informed me that no one feels sorry for you. I very publicly and for many, many years got my ass kicked for speaking up." Katherine explained that being publicly shamed for her comments caused her to step out of the public eye.
Katherine Heigl was one of Hollywood's rising stars, earning an Emmy for her role as Dr. Izzy Stevens on Grey's Anatomy, and leading successful romantic comedies like Knocked Up and 27 Dresses. She seemed poised for a long career as a leading actress, but her reputation in the industry took a sharp turn after a series of public comments and behind-the-scenes disputes. In 2007, Heigl withdrew her name from Emmy consideration, stating she did not believe her work on Grey's Anatomy that season was worthy of a nomination. Many saw this as a public criticism of the show's writing, and it reportedly angered series creator Shonda Rhimes. A year earlier, she had made headlines for calling Knocked Up a little sexist, saying the film portrayed women as humorless and uptight, while men were lovable goofballs. Writer and director Judd Apatow, along with co-star Seth Rogen, were surprised by her remarks, and tensions arose over how she publicly discussed her projects. Her outspoken nature led to a reputation for being difficult to work with, a label that quickly affected her career. Offers for high-profile roles slowed down, and she struggled to shake the perception that she was ungrateful for the opportunities she'd been given. Heigl later acknowledged the damage, saying, quote, "I may have said a couple things you didn't like, but then that escalated to she's ungrateful, and then that escalated to she's difficult, and that escalated to she's unprofessional." In the years following her Hollywood fallout, Heigl transitioned to television, taking lead roles in series like Suits and Firefly Lane. While she continues to work, her career never fully recovered to its previous heights. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was once one of the highest-paid actors on television, earning a reported $1.8 million per episode for his role as Charlie Harper on 2.5 Men. His blend of comedic timing and larger-than-life personality made him a fan favorite. However, his off-screen behavior ultimately led to his downfall, turning him from a television powerhouse into an actor Hollywood no longer wanted to work with. Sheen's troubles reached a breaking point in 2011 when he publicly clashed with 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre, making a series of bizarre and inflammatory statements. In interviews, Sheen referred to himself as having tiger blood and claimed to be winning, despite widespread concern for his erratic behavior. He was fired from the show and filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers and Lorre, alleging wrongful termination. Sheen later admitted, "I was really stupid back then. I was doing way too much." His behavior had been controversial before that, with years of substance abuse issues, legal troubles, and allegations of domestic violence. But it was his public unraveling and direct attacks on industry power players that appeared to seal his fate. Following his firing, he attempted a comeback with the sitcom Anger Management, but the show never reached the same level of success. Over time, roles dried up and Hollywood distanced itself from him. In 2015, he revealed that he was HIV positive, a diagnosis he'd kept secret for years. Though he's expressed interest in working again, major studios have been reluctant to take the risk. Now it's time to hear from you. Can you think of some other recent celebs who've been blacklisted? Let us know in the comments section below.